Hello, fellow seekers and friends. Sally the Seeker here. It really is the same person, but with a totally different, awful sounding voice. I'm going to do the best I can. Hopefully it will not grate on your nerves. But I work for the school board, and I work with kindergartners with special needs. So with that age, there's been a lot of snot slinging. Everybody is coughing in the class, and they either sneeze on us, rub their snot on us. Sorry to be so graphic, but hey, you are true crime followers. You've got tough stomachs, right? But I apologize for the way my voice sounds. Hopefully it'll not be too obnoxious. It sure gets on my nerves. Sounds like I smoke 10 packs of cigarettes a day, but I don't smoke. So we're going to try to get through this nonetheless, but I do apologize. So the trial is continuing, and here is another police officer who takes the stand and testifies. Another eyewitness. And per usual, Darrell, he is the expert, and he just goes on and on and on, and you'll see how this all works. Like I said, I said like I said, but I didn't really say anything. But I did the little mini video just to take the highlights out that I thought were kind of funny. So let's see what happens without further ado.
Statement called. Next witness.
State calls Ralph Salyers.
All right, sir, if you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, who's on my left,
to crack his neck. Yeah, crick in his neck.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. The first thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Ralph Salyers III, R-A-L-P-H. Last is S-A-L-Y-E-R-S.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Sir, how are you employed?
The city of Waukesha Police Department.
What county is that in?
It's in Milwaukee.
Not Waukesha.
Correct.
Do you recall where you were on the afternoon of November 21st, 2021?
Yes, I was at the Waukesha Christmas Parade.
In downtown Waukesha?
Yes.
What were you doing there?
I was attending the parade with my family. My daughters were walking in the parade with their dance team.
Were you on duty?
No.
That was not the extreme dance team, was it?
No, it was Liberty Dance.
Okay. Did you watch them go down the parade route and perform?
Yes.
Do you remember where you were standing when that happened?
Yes, I was standing on the southeast corner of Maple and Main.
Okay. Are you familiar with the Curry Insurance Building?
No.
Okay. Do you remember any other businesses or landmarks in that area?
The corner where we were standing, there's a parking lot right there. It's like one of the only parking lots in the area.
Did you leave the parade at some point?
Yes, once my daughter's the team passed by, we went to pick them up at the Cutler Park, which was the rallying area after the parade.
Where is Cutler Park in relation to where you were observing the parade?
Would be about a block south and a block east.
Okay. Are there any public landmarks in that area other than the park itself?
The library's right there.
The Waukesha Library?
Yes.
What happened after you got to the Waukesha Library?
We picked my two girls up, and we were intending to go back and finish the parade, but it was a little cold and windy, and we decided to head home.
So what happened next?
We were walking back. I had driven separately. I came later to the parade to surprise them, so I had driven separately, and we walked back to the middle school parking lot where my wife had parked. My wife and her mother-in-law and my youngest daughter left with her, and then my older daughter and I continued to walk toward my vehicle.
What happened as you were walking towards your vehicle?
Ooh, he's taking
As
notes.
we're walking south
Oh, yeah.
down Maple,
Getting ready for
on
that
the east side of the
cross.
sidewalk, I saw an SUV driving behind the houses on the west side of Maple, and I just assumed it was driving in a alley or a driveway. As I lost visual of the SUV, was driving behind houses, I heard a crash, which I'm familiar with vehicle crashes. It sounded like a vehicle crash. The vehicle then emerged a little bit further south from behind one of the residences there and drove down the driveway of that residence toward the street, toward my daughter and I.
And then what happened?
I saw that the front end of the SUV was severely damaged and put two and two together, thought the damage was from the crash I had just heard. So the vehicle came eastbound down the driveway toward the sidewalk. I was standing across the street from it, and then it came to a stop. I saw the driver of the vehicle exit the vehicle. He came around to the front of the vehicle, looked at it, and yelled, "Fuck." And
Ooh, he said a bad
appeared to
word.
be panicked, went back and got items out of the driver's side of the vehicle and then ran southbound.
The vehicle that you're talking about, do you remember what color it was?
It was a maroon Ford Escape.
What direction was the front of the vehicle facing when it came to a stop?
It was facing east.
And where were you in relation to the vehicle and the street?
I was directly across the street from it on the sidewalk.
Were there any vehicles between you and the red SUV that you've described when you saw the driver get out?
No,
Were there any other obstructions between you and the vehicle as you saw the driver get out?
no.
Do you remember approximately how long in seconds or minutes you saw the driver as he was getting out and then leaving?
It was just a few seconds, if I had to guess, 10 to 20.
Okay. And you've already said it was across the street. Do you remember approximately how many feet it would have been between you and the driver?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. You may answer.
If I had to guess, maybe 50 feet at most, from one side of the street to the other, plus the length of the vehicle.
Could you describe the lighting conditions at that time in terms of sunlight and street lamps, if there were any?
Objection,
Yeah, it was-
relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
He objected to the asking when he asked about the lighting. Oh, Darrell, you've got to do better than that. Come on.
It was pre-dusk, I would describe it as.
How would you describe the physical appearance of the driver
What he was wearing?
and any other physical descriptors?
Well, he just looked to be kind of in a panic. Obviously, I thought he was involved in a crash. And he was wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans.
What about race?
I would have
Objection.
Hold on.
Speculative.
Overruled. You may answer.
I hope
I
us,
would
help
have
us.
described him as a light-skinned African-American or possibly Hispanic male.
And you, in fact, you gave a statement to a fellow officer shortly after this happened, the next day, is that right?
Yes.
And that's the description you gave to that officer?
Yes.
You've seen news reports about this case in the days or the time since November 21st, is that right?
Yes.
And you've seen photographs of Darrell Brooks in other contexts, is that correct?
Objection, I do not consent to being called that.
Okay, what's funny is, and you probably already saw, if you saw the little video, but I think these two, the police officer and Assistant DA Zach, really play off each other by purposely throwing his name out there to get Darrell all flustered, which they do succeed very well in doing so.
That name, nor do I know that individual, and his
His expressions
You may
are
answer the question.
priceless.
speculative.
It's not speculative.
Yes.
The person you saw get out of the driver's seat of that SUV on November 21st, do you see that person in the courtroom today?
The
Yes.
objection is hearsay. He's speaking as a first eye-hand witness.
Overruled.
Okay, I don't know if you noticed. Sorry, guys. But in the other video I pointed out, I think he was trying to say first-hand witness, but I think Darrell just said eye-hand witness or something like that.
Rolled. I believe he answered, but could you state it again?
Yes, I see him. He's sitting at the defense table wearing a suit with a blue tie and a white surgical mask.
And just to be thorough, could we please have Mr. Brooks remove his mask for a
Oh,
moment?
God, please. I don't want to look at him.
Remove your mask.
Close your eyes, everybody.
Thank you. The record should reflect the mask has been removed.
How confident are you in your identification today?
100%.
Is your identification in court today colored in any way by seeing pictures of Mr. Brooks in other contexts?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. He may answer.
No.
Can you describe the difference, if any, between Mr. Brooks' appearance today and his appearance on November 21st?
Objection, hearsay, and speculative.
It's neither one of those things. The objection is overruled.
Okay,
The
keep
witness
grabbing.
may answer.
Objection is irrelevant.
It is relevant. He may answer.
Not if you identified me already, so he said.
Mr. Brooks,
So he
please.
say.
The objection's been
Oh
overruled.
my gosh.
The witness may answer.
He's got very short hair right now, and he didn't then.
What does his hair look like on November 21st?
Objection,
Overruled. You may answer.
relevancy.
Go ahead. You may answer, sir.
He had longer hair.
Every time Darrell objects,
I'm
this
going
guy
to
is
ask
like,
that we put up for the witness only exhibit number 65, please.
Go ahead.
Do you see a video on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
We're going to play a few moments from that video just to give you a chance to see if you recognize what's shown. Okay, that's good. We played 7 seconds out of the total of 36 seconds on this. But you recognize that video?
Yes.
What does it show?
It shows me walking southbound on the east side sidewalk of Maple, just south of, I think that's Prospect, walking my dog Elvis and walking with my oldest daughter Ava.
come on, you gotta love a man who has a dog named Elvis. He could have just said, you know, I'm walking my dog, but he had to say, I'm walking my dog Elvis. I wonder if Darrell was tried to subpoena Elvis.
Is that an accurate depiction of that scene as you saw it today? Move exhibit,
Yes.
Thank you.
move exhibit 65 into evidence and ask to publish.
Exhibit 65 has received permission to publish as granted.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
This is 36 seconds. Let's play it through one time at 100% speed, please. Go ahead.
There's Elvis.
Go back to the beginning and pause it at the beginning there. Do you see yourself at the beginning of this video?
Yes.
Could you circle yourself for us? That's a touch screen, just use your finger. Thank you. We can clear that. You're the only person walking a dog in this video, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's play, and we'll pause at another point. Pause there at 4 seconds. You mentioned Prospect. Could you draw a line down Prospect for us? Okay, so that's the only cross street we can see clearly in the video? Correct?
Yes.
And do you see any vehicles on Prospect at this point?
See two.
Could you circle the one with...
Clearly more than 2 vehicles.
On Prospect.
I'll
was the question.
clarify.
No, you said on Prospect. He answered. His answer may stand.
Where's Prospect? Where are you
He
referring?
already drew a line. The witness would redraw the line for Mr. Brooks. Thank you.
God.
Go ahead.
Do either of those vehicles have, appearing to you today, to have an inoperable headlight?
Yes.
Which one? If you could circle it,
The
please.
first leading.
It's not leading. He may
Shut up,
answer.
Darrell.
Thank you. We can clear that. And we'll resume at 4 seconds, please. Pause. Paused at 27 seconds. Do you see on the video right now the person you recall being the driver of that vehicle?
Yes.
Could you please circle that person for us? I'd like to mark and preserve this annotation as Exhibit 65A, please, and move it into evidence.
Objection. Hearsay.
The objection is overruled. Exhibit 65A
Hearsay.
is received.
He doesn't know what any of his
Go ahead.
freaking objections mean.
The clothing worn by the person you just circled, does that match your memory of what the driver was wearing that day?
Yes.
Okay, and let's play from this point, 27 seconds. And we'll stop there. From the 27-second point to the end of the video, the person who you circled, does that match your memory of what the driver did that day after he got out of the SUV?
Yes.
What did you do next?
I attempted to call 911 to report a crash.
If we could take the video down, please. Did you get through on the first call?
No.
What about the second?
No.
Third?
No.
Did you eventually get through?
Fourth time.
Objection. Hearsay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer. The objection is overruled. Could you please
Hearsay.
restate your answer, sir?
I believe I got through on the 4th attempt.
And that's when you reported what you saw?
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Oh, God, help
Any
us.
questions on
Here we
cross-exam
go.
for this witness?
I do. Can we pull that
Oh, my God.
exhibit back up again?
Look at him. He's so lawyerly, isn't he?
5 will be shown. Go ahead.
And
His
publish.
giant, oversized suit.
Granted. Permission granted to publish. It's been received. Let me know, jurors, when 65 is in the jury box. It's up. Okay.
Okay, right as this pause right now, it's not playing. It's at 0. Would it be fair to say that?
Oh, nothing.
I guess that would be my right of the screen.
It would be fair to say.
A white-looking SUV by the walkway where people would be able to cross the street. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that the side street that you lined as being Prospect, I think you said it was, where the 2 do not enter signs are, that would be the side street you're referring to? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that from the position that you're in, approximately here, and the side street being here,
And just so the record is clear, Mr. Brooks has annotated the touch screen with a line depicting the direction of Prospect intersecting with the street a perpendicular street. I apologize, I don't remember the name, and then an X where...
Prospect, you said?
Prospect is the street in the direction of the line, but there's a cross street there.
Okay.
But the X is indicating where this witness, his dog, and his daughter are in the video. Go ahead.
So from where you're positioned right here by the X, you can see down this street from the position you're in.
No.
God. No.
So how were you able to see if a vehicle would be coming from this way from the position you're at?
I didn't see the vehicle driving on Prospect. I saw it driving behind the houses through the yards.
So you were able to see the vehicle behind houses?
Between houses,
There go his eyebrows up and all superior and
right
cocky
through the
and
yards behind the houses.
You were
idiotic
able to
and
see that from where you were?
Yes.
Can we take those marked lines and stuff down? Can you
Get
play
it.
it a little bit?
get his gotcha moment,
I'll
but
tell you when to pause.
he has none.
You just confirming what's full speed?
Yeah, well, I guess that would be regular, whatever is the regular speed.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Would it be fair to say from,
Do you want it paused?
no, not yet, just, you can let it play. I'll say, I think it's 36 seconds, so. Would it be fair to say from,
Well, hold on, the video's showing, so wait till it's done playing and then ask a question.
See, she laughed a
Or
little
just
again.
pause where you want it paused.
pause? So it's paused at 18 seconds for the record. Would it be fair to say that in the 18 seconds shown to this point, you're pretty much just walking the dog, moving around, just walking normal? You don't make any sudden moves to the left.
Is he supposed to do hop on one
you don't
foot?
stop in your tracks or anything. Can you play? Pause it. Would it be fair to say that another roughly 8 seconds to play, from 18 seconds to 26 seconds, still you didn't stop in your tracks, still you didn't turn to look at the other side of the street in any manner? You're continuing doing what you're doing. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Why so nonchalant?
When the vehicle emerged from the back of the house, I saw that it was damaged, and then in my mind, I knew what I had heard.
With all respect, that wasn't the question. Why so nonchalant at that point?
I didn't think it was anything of...
Nonchalant like you, running over people. All these stupid questions he's asking has nothing to do with the case. Nothing. It's a waste of air. It's nothing to do with it. Not only that, you can't see. Well, I think he even says, the officer says,
Being in law enforcement, why would you not investigate that if you heard something crash? Why, being an officer of the law, why would you not investigate that if you heard that?
I was with my daughter, and I would in no way put her in harm's way.
Well, I would think it would be fair to say that you can handle yourself. You're obviously a officer of the law. You're trained to be able to handle yourself. Would it be fair to say that you could have at least investigated the sound that you heard, the sound like a crash, at least?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained. It's also a compound question. Please rephrase.
So all these thoughts, maybe it was just a drunk driver, and they're gonna run anyway, and all these thoughts, and that never piqued your interest to investigate?
Sometimes being a good witness is the best thing to do. That's why I called 911, to report it immediately.
Now that's fair, but
bada boom.
being an officer of the law, you're
How many
right.
times is he going to say an officer of the law?
Not a question. Also asked and answered. Also argumentative.
Sustained as to the form of the question. You don't need to answer, sir. Next question, please.
What if someone may have been hurt at that point? You don't think you would have an obligation to investigate if someone may have been injured at that point?
That's why I called.
You mean like the people that were laying in the road that you had just run over? Oh my goodness. I cannot believe Darrell. And also the officer making a point about not wanting to put his daughter in danger. See, Darrell doesn't get that because Darrell has sprinkled little seeds that have sprouted all over the place. Poor children. And he doesn't understand what it's like to be a dad and to have compassion or any of that because he's just a soulless thing.
Call 911.
That's
Can
what
you
we call
play the rest of the
911.
video? It did a weird little like motion thing. That was probably from the camera. I would guess. But in that entire video, is it fair to say that you did not reach for a phone and take out a phone from your pockets or anything in any way?
I can't tell if I did from the video itself. I know.
So when did you make the call?
At some point after you started running.
Who is you?
The defendant, the driver of the vehicle.
So
You asshole.
how long after you saw the driver of the vehicle did you make the 911 call?
Within seconds, I believe.
Is it fair to say that we don't see that on the video?
Of course
The video
not.
is very small at that point. It's hard to.
Is it fair to say we don't see you do that on the video?
And we don't see him do that.
Can we pull the video back up?
God, Darrell.
Can you
Darrell.
take it to 27 seconds and pause at 27? Maybe 28. I may be mistaken. Maybe just go one more second. Maybe to 28. Or you know what? No. Keep your pause right there.
TikTok. Darrell.
Would it be fair to say that you noticed the vehicle in this area right there?
Yes.
Right there.
Can you remove the X? And what do you see right there?
I don't understand.
Do you see anything right there? An individual, anything? Do you see anything right there?
It's
Inside
hard
the
to tell
circle?
from that picture what I can see.
Can you move it? Can we blow it up a little bit or move it closer?
Best thing we all have
Just a little bit.
I don't know that it can be zoomed in.
eyesight, X-ray
Does it
vision
have
or
that
something.
capability?
So we can zoom in,
Not X-ray, but
as long as the defendant's okay with dispensing with any technological foundation issues there. But we can zoom in. We have the ability to do that.
Would you like it zoomed in?
What do you mean by not? Say that again. I'm sorry.
We can zoom in if you want to.
Can you zoom in just a little bit?
Assistant DA says,
Just a smidge.
I'm not going to explain it again.
That's the extent of our zooming capabilities with this
No,
software.
that's fine. That's fine. Can you see anything there?
It looks like something white. I don't know if that's the driver.
Looks like something white.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Yes, it's light colored.
White color what?
It's light colored.
Light colored, but you did say white. Is that fair to say?
You're going to jump on
just
that
said
word white. Say
I
white.
just did say white.
He said white. He said white.
Can you erase the circle? Zoom back out. Take the like a box there in the corner that's kind of throwing the whole
Darrell.
exhibit off. Take it back to the regular. You testified earlier that you saw the driver with a gray hoodie, as you referred to it. Do you recall saying that?
Yes.
What I just circled right there, would you from your recollection, say that that was the driver you saw?
I don't know what that is at this point.
You don't know?
A paused video. It could be a glare. It could be a person. I don't know. If you could play it again.
That's right. Be more specific,
Well, let's play it
Darrell.
again.
Yes, please, let's. Oh, no.
From the 27th.
Just stop right there.
Okay.
Yeah, from the 27 mark. I think it just played maybe, what, half a second or something like that? Did you see that whatever you said you didn't know what it was, could have been a person, could have been something else? Did you see it move from the position that it was before?
Yes.
And you also identified that that was white, right? That's what you said, correct?
I did say that.
And would it be fair to say that you saw the driver in gray? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
So is he going to try to say that wasn't him? Of course, again, he's highlighting his own self, which is really just a dot. In that still shot that they did on the video, it does look white. But he's got a hammer on this white versus gray thing. There it does look white. He said gray, or I think he said light gray, maybe gray, I don't know. But he grabs one little thing and runs on it. Darrell is a woodpecker in a petrified forest. He takes one thing, he goes peck, 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 peck. Oh my gosh, he makes me crazy. I mean, he gives me high anxiety, and I've seen this a million times, but yet I want to share with you also, so I don't have to go through this alone, and we can, hate on him a bit to soothe our souls and in honor of the victims and those that perished in this attack. But what is your go-to thing? I know, quickly. Like when you're anxious or you need something to soothe yourself with, is it alcohol, cigarettes, weed, hopefully nothing stronger. Me, it's chocolate. I remember one person I think I was in a live stream on one of the newscasts when this was going on, and she said she crocheted, and I think she was able to put out a lot of things at that time because that was her go-to anxiety thing. So tell me what your go-to anxiety thing is, or something to soothe your nerves when you're watching something like this.
Take the circle off. You also stated that you were about 50 feet from you added the vehicle in too. You said maybe 50 feet, and then depending on the length of the vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And from where you are here to here, because it would be fair to say we can't see a vehicle in the picture at that point. Would that be fair to say we can't see a vehicle that would be facing you, because you said it was facing you? We can't see a vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
From this angle of
that is rambling.
yes.
So that would be approximately 50 feet from X to X.
Approximately.
And you were able to see the driver and a description from where you're standing now to where the other X is.
Yes.
And you were able to make out the race of the driver from where you were at.
I guessed.
You guessed. So you're not for certain.
I wasn't for certain at that time.
So what conclusion were you coming to at that point? Just an educated guess, or?
Can you explain further?
How
For what?
Yeah, be more
would it be fair to
specific.
say that your guess could have been inaccurate?
Could have been.
And you also stated that you saw news reports and the description of the driver on the news. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
you made reference to the driver's hair. Would that be fair to say?
In my testimony, yes.
You brought up the hair is what I'm saying. You said long hair. That be fair to say?
Yes.
And you will be able to see hair if you describe the driver wearing a hoodie?
Yes.
Yes.
You'll be able to see hair and tell the length of the hair.
If it's hanging out of the hoodie, yes.
Well, you didn't say, all fairness, you didn't say it was hanging out of the hoodie. You just referred to the hair.
Yes, that's what he referred to, Darrell. The reason why I stop here is I remember, and I don't know if I will be able to find her, but there was another witness who described the same way as he was wearing the hoodie, but his dreadlocks, you could still see them hanging in the front. But now he's going to pinpoint it since he said, well, but you, in all fairness, you did not say that, did you? Come on, you got to do better than this. But you didn't.
Yes.
Objection, that's not a question, and it's argumentative.
Is it?
Hold on, there's been an objection. I believe the
Yeah, hold
witness
on
understood
there.
the question, so I'll overrule the objection. His answer may stand. Next question.
Is it any possible way you could have gotten a description from the news reports instead of what you actually recall?
No.
And how did you determine that?
In the report I gave, in my statement, I described what I saw that day, not what I saw in the news.
And you also described two different colors of dress. Once you said gray and one you said white. Would that be fair to say?
I said that the item in the video appeared to be white.
Did you not say that the item moved? As you say item, did you not say the item moved from where it was at?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that there can be no movement to an item if it wasn't a person?
Yes.
A person that you described wearing white?
On the video screen, it appeared white.
Darrell, stop it. Just stop.
It
You're
appeared
embarrassing
light colored or white.
all of us.
Would it be fair to say that you said white? That was
He
your
did
first
say
guess?
white. He did. Oh my goodness, he did. Whew, he's so pleased. And he's probably thinking, wow.
At any time in that video, could you see hair?
In the video,
In the video.
you can't see very much in the video.
You can't see hair on the dot, you fool.
After making the 911 call, did you return back to the scene where you noticed the vehicle?
Yes.
And did you investigate at that point?
Yes.
So what changed from the point that you heard a crash, as you say, and then returning back to where you saw the vehicle? What changed between those times?
As I was talking to the 911 dispatcher, I wanted to give them better details about the vehicle, so I walked back over to.
So at the time that you initially made the 911 call, there were still details about what you saw that you were unsure of. Would that be fair to say?
I believe they asked me what the license plate was, and I couldn't see it from where I was at, so I walked back over to give that to them.
So you couldn't see the license plates of the vehicle from where you were at?
There was no license plate on the front of the vehicle.
That's right. No
so I
license
could not see
plates
it.
on the front.
So you came back to investigate if there was a license plates that you can identify.
License
Yes.
plates, yes.
Did you investigate what you may have heard the vehicle strike?
No.
Any reason why not?
By that time, a large crowd had gathered, and there were sirens. I could hear them in the distance, and the police were responding rather quickly.
So you didn't take the opportunity to see if anyone, from saying that you heard a loud crash, you didn't take the opportunity to investigate if anyone may have been hurt from that loud crash?
I didn't know.
Any reason why not?
No reason.
Sorry, I don't care. She's telling him, okay, Zach, make me a proud mama again, and nailed Darrell.
Any Any other details about the driver that you can recall? As far as further clothing?
No, I thought at some point I saw a Packers logo on his clothing or something to that effect.
Did you put that in your report?
Yes.
At any time, have you read or saw a complaint in this matter?
No, just my report.
Any other officers that came to the scene? Because you made reference to officers was responding by the time you came back to give more details to the dispatcher. More officers were arriving. Do you recall if any one of those officers investigated the loud crash you heard?
I'm unaware.
But it would be fair to say that they gave reports from what they observed when coming to the scene. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recall any of them asking you of a description of what you saw?
I didn't speak to any officers on scene that day.
Any reason why not?
I just left.
Seeing as how that you made the initial 911 call, I'm sure the officers were probably responding by that time anyway, but seeing as how you made the 911 call, you didn't collaborate with the other officers to try to, piece together what you may have saw?
I'll object to the characterization that was the first 911 call.
I didn't say first. I said he made the initial 911 call.
Initial means first, so sustained is to the form of the
Poor
question.
Darrell. Time for you to sit down now. Come on, Darrell.
Besides,
Oh, damn. What's up? It need to be done.
let me back up.
Oh, no, don't back up. Please. Just need to be done.
After seeing the description on the news, did you say to yourself, that's the driver that I saw?
I recognize the driver as the person I saw on TV or social media.
Social media or the news?
I don't recall, probably both.
And did you report that description before or after you saw it on the news or social media or both?
I gave a statement the very next morning. I worked at 6 a.m. I reported it to my supervisor, who contacted Waukesha investigators and had one of our detectives take a statement from me that morning. The statement that I gave them was from my experience at the scene, not from what I saw on TV or social media.
So it would be fair to say by that next morning you had already seen reports on the news or social media?
Yeah,
or
yes,
both?
Yes.
And your report was the next morning, so could it have been fair to say that that's where you got the description?
No.
N-O. Come on, be done, Darrell.
Did you learn any additional information that you don't recall having via social media or the news after you had already made your report?
I don't understand the question.
Yeah,
Did
really.
you learn any additional information after you had already given your report?
Learn information about what?
About the description of the driver, what had happened at the parade, anything?
Well, originally I had no idea what had happened at the parade. I thought it was just I witnessed a hit-and-run crash. I had no clue what had happened at the parade.
So you just said now you witnessed a hit-and-run crash,
Oh, Lordy.
but you also said that you didn't investigate the crash that you heard.
Correct.
So how would you characterize it as a hit and run crash if you never investigate what you heard?
Because I heard a crash and then the driver ran.
Well, you also stated, to be fair, that you didn't investigate the crash. So how was it any way to know what you were witnessing if you didn't investigate it?
Because I heard a crash and I saw the driver run. So in my mind, I assumed that was a hit and run crash.
So it was an assumption, you didn't know?
Yes. I heard a crash. I didn't see the crash.
Correct. So
Ooh, he got you. Ooh.
would it be fair to say that from the assumption that there was a hit and run crash, as you say, the only way to know for sure where the crash came from would be to investigate it? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And you stated for the record that you did not do that, correct?
Yes.
So why would you report it as a hit and run crash if you were not sure what it was?
Well, based on my training experience as a crash investigator, that's what I thought it was.
Oh yeah, you think you're so smart. Sorry about that glare. The sun came through. Oh my gosh. We're just gonna go with it, folks.
Did you talk to any of the people that lived in those houses to see if they had heard the same thing you heard?
I spoke to maybe a resident of the apartment or the house right there who just said that the vehicle didn't belong there.
Did they report to you that they heard any crash?
No, not that I recall.
Did they report to you that they saw a driver?
No.
So as far as you can recall, you were the only one that heard the crash.
As far as I know, yes.
Come on, Darrell. Quit digging through your fake papers and sit down. Look, he's going. My back. My aching back.
No
Oh,
further questions.
thank God.
Any redirect?
Please, thank you. You testified that you didn't investigate the sound of this crash, correct?
Yes.
Were you off duty that day?
Yes.
When you're off duty, do you carry a police radio with you?
Objection. That is
B-b-b.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's an officer of the law.
Oops.
Overruled. He may answer.
Dumb.
No.
So if you did get into a pickle, you wouldn't be able to call for backup, would you?
Objection. That's speculative. Still has a cell phone.
It's not speculative. He may answer the question.
See, she left.
Your daughter, the one that we saw in Exhibit 65, I believe. 65. Is she a sworn law enforcement officer?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled. He may answer.
No.
At the time you heard the crash but didn't investigate it, did you know that the vehicle that you saw had been involved in hitting dozens of people on Main Street minutes earlier?
Objection. Asked during cross. Answer.
Overruled. He may answer.
I had no idea.
Uh-huh.
When the driver got out, and just to clarify again, who was the driver?
The defendant.
Darrell Brooks.
Darrell Brooks.
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Love it, love it.
Mr. Brooks, I'm sorry.
I don't consent to being called that name.
So noted. Next question, please.
Did you see anybody else get out of the vehicle?
No.
When you went back to check the vehicle, was there anybody inside?
No.
On this issue of the white clothing, can we please show for everybody exhibit number 120, which has previously been published?
Go ahead.
You see exhibit number 120 on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
You see the person who appears to be behind the driver's wheel of the red SUV in that picture?
Objection. What is the relevancy?
Overruled, he may answer.
Yes.
How would you describe the color of the shirt that that person's wearing?
Light gray or white?
I think I see some hair too. It's hard to see a little bit.
That's all I have for this witness.
All right, thank you. You may step down.
Look, there he goes again. Look at him. He still thinks he's done well. What?
May this witness be excused from this screen?
He may.
Look at him. Each time he really thinks he has scored. Just look at him. He really thinks he has done well. He's so, I don't know. Well, folks, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry about this, boys. I don't know how long it'll be this way. Sometimes it takes a while. Thank you for bearing through this with me if you did. And it's always hard to tell when I can get videos up. There's really more to it than what you would think. And with me, with my limited technical skills, it takes a lot longer. And though they're far from perfect or professional, I hope it's still enough that we can enjoy to comment on and, you know, rag on Darrell and, you know, get our frustrations out and just laugh, because, you know, what else is there to do? There's so many things to be sad about. We might as well laugh, right? Okay, so I hope everyone's doing well. I love you all. Be kind to one another and be kind to you.